Hey guys, we're going to try to do something different this time. So we're not reviewing any new car or even a bike or anything of that sort. Now the Piston Show has come a long way, but we realize that we are always talking about new cars. So this is where we sort of want to help those who are looking for something used. Perhaps you're looking for a car for your loved one who is just starting off life, has probably a new employee, probably just starting off their career, or you're probably looking for a car for your child to go to college and such, or perhaps you're just looking for a cheap car. You know, life can be challenging sometimes. So in this segment, let's call it the car buyer's guide, the Pistons car buyer's guide. So in this segment, we want to help you make the right buying decision. So there's one website that we are going to be focusing on, and that is carlist.my. Of course, when it comes to used cars in Malaysia, there are two very important websites that you should know about, and that's carlist.my as well as muda.my. But for the sake of this video, we are only going to be focusing on carlist.my. That is actually my preferred choice to go to. No, Carlist didn't pay me for this. We are not affiliated with Carlist in any way whatsoever. But carlist.my is my preferred choice to go to sometimes when I'm daydreaming or don't just, I need to pretend like I'm busy, so I'm staring at my screen, but I'm actually browsing used cars and such, just for fun. So for this segment, we are going to be looking at cars between the 5,000 to the 30,000 ringgit bracket. You'll be surprised what you can find, but there are things that you should know about all those cars in that price segment as well. So that is where we come in and will help you make the correct purchase decisions. So if you need further information, by the way, I'm going to add my email address to the screen here. Basically, it's kashi@piston.my. So feel free to drop me an email and I'll be more than happy to reply you with some proper advice on your car purchase journey. So anyway, for this video, you can see that there is a price bracket over here. We are going to insert the price bracket of a minimum of 5,000 ringgit. Even though it says 10,000, you can actually key in 5,000 and then a maximum of 30,000 ringgit. So let's see what we come up with. So, all right. The first thing that comes up is a 2005 Honda Jazz. It says lady owner for 21,500 ringgit. In my personal opinion, it's a little bit too old. Of course, you're going to be facing some maintenance issues. 21,500 ringgit, let's say even if you face 5,000 ringgit worth of repairs, it'll take you up to 26,500 ringgit, which is, in my books, is too old, too expensive. So I suggest don't go down that route. The second option is you have a 2013 Nissan Almera. Now this is great if you have a family to take around because it's actually a very spacious car. The Nissan Almera, it's a very mechanical car. There are a lot of hydraulics in there, not much electronics, which is important. So this is a great car. However, spare parts can be a little bit elusive. Now this is a nine-year-old car, so you can actually take it back to Tanchong and such. So I suspect they might have all the spare parts that you need, or then you can always go to your preferred workshop mechanic. And then when you go further down, you get a 2013 Proton Saga 1.3 FLX standard. Again, this is 9-year-old, but then it's only 10,777 ringgit. I'm sure if you ask properly, you will probably get a further discount as well. Now, what you should look out for in a car like this is probably wear and tear. Maybe it has not been maintained properly. Check the engine oil. Get your mechanics to actually do a thorough check on it. Check out the absorbers if they're making funky sounds and such, because these cars tend to be under maintained. So at 10,000 is actually not a bad deal. Even if you allocate 3 to 5,000 ringgit for repairs, it's actually not a bad deal. Now the next car that you have is a 2009 Proton Kancil 660EX. Now this is quite a gem for 5,800 ringgit. Of course, if you are into safety and such, then this may not quite do it for you, because after all, a Kancil, I'm not quite sure if the 2009 Perodua Kancil came with airbags. I don't think so. But this is an extremely easy car to maintain and such. lots of spare parts out there. So at 5,800 ringgit, this I would say is quite a steal. After that, you get the Proton, a 2012 Proton Exora 1.6 bold CFE for 23,800 ringgit. Of course, this is an MPV, but if you want a proper a family car, basically, rather than going for the 2012 Proton Exora, I would suggest go for the Almera that we saw earlier, simply because I didn't quite like the powertrain on the Exora when I drove it many years ago. So and I also think that maintenance on this will probably be quite a bit. So in my opinion, I think the Almera is a better buy. Now, if you go further down, we get a 2007 Toyota Vios 1.5G. Now, you can never go wrong with the Vios, guys. There's tons of spare parts out there. Now, do take a look if it's properly maintained though. At 18,800 ringgit for a 2007 model, it's actually quite pricey. There's no doubt about it. There might be better buys out there. So at 18,800 ringgit for a Toyota 2007 Toyota Vios, this is basically, you know, like I said, you can't go wrong with the Vios. Spare parts are in abundance, and even spare parts are not that expensive as well. But at 18,800 ringgit, it's actually quite pricey. Now, further down, you get again a 2014 Nissan Almera as compared to the 2013 Nissan Almera that we saw earlier at 26,800. This is a 2014 Nissan Almera at 24,900 ringgit. Again, a very interesting family car. Spare parts are in abundance. It's not that old, actually it's slightly newer than the one that we saw earlier. So if you're looking for a family car, this is actually not a bad buy. Then after that, we got a 2010 Proton Persona 1.6 H-Line sedan. Now again, these cars at 9,900 ringgit, it may seem like not a bad buy, but keep in mind that this is, after all, a 13-year-old car. So 9,900 ringgit, you have to look out for the absorbers, the engine oil, whether it's been properly maintained. Perhaps, depending on the mileage, it says 120,000 kilometer mileage. So perhaps it needs to be overhauled as well. So look out for that. Now after that, we have a 2012 Inocom for 12,500 ringgit with about 130,000 mileage. Quite high, 12,500 ringgit, quite expensive. It's quite a small car, in fact, so maybe don't go down that route. After that, we have a CARSM certified 2015 Proton Iris. Now at 26,600 ringgit, I think is quite expensive for such a small car, so stay away from that. Then after that, right after that, we have a 2013 Perodua Viva for 15,600 ringgit. Now check this out, guys. A 2015 Proton Iris for 26,600 kilometers, which has done 133,000 kilometers, and then you get a 2013 Perodua Viva that has done 125,000 kilometers for 15,600 ringgit. So in terms of spaciousness, both are small cars, so both, perhaps the Iris is of course slightly bigger, and even though it's 2 years newer than the Viva, it's actually got higher mileage. So in terms of these two, I would go for the Viva, simply because I think it's more economical, spare parts are cheaper, it's probably just a nicer car to drive. The Iris probably will handle better than the Viva, so if you're into that thing, then maybe Iris will check your box. But the Viva though, I think in between these two, you're already saving 10,000 ringgit, 11,000 ringgit anyway. Then after that, you go to a 2017 Proton Saga, which has done 95,000 kilometers for 28,800 ringgit. Now this is a very newer car. It's just about 5 years old. So at 28,800 ringgit is actually not a bad buy. So again, do your research. For 5 years old, is actually mileage is actually a bit on the higher side. Now there are reports that say that the average driver does about 20,000 kilometers, so this guy is probably falls within the average driver category. Then after that, we get a 2015 Proton Preve for 29,900 ringgit. It has done 112,000 kilometers, so that is quite I think quite expensive in my books. 30,000 ringgit for a Proton 7-year-old Proton Preve. No, I wouldn't go down that route. But then, Having said that, the next car after that Proton Privé is a 2008 Toyota Vios 1.5J. So it has done 150,000 kilometers. So not only is this car older, a lot old, significantly older, 7 years older, it has higher mileage, and it is basically about the same price as the 2015 Proton Privé. What does this tell you? Well, the Toyota Vios is going to retain its value better than the Proton Privé. So if you're into that kind of thing, then the Toyota Vios will probably be a better buy. But then it is a much older car. So again, do your research. After that though, we have a 2016 Perodua Beza for 28,500 ringgit. Now this is interesting. Now, as compared to the two cars mentioned above, the 2015 Proton Privé and the 2008 Toyota Vios, the 2016 Perodua Beza is basically about the same price at 28,500 ringgit. It has also done lesser mileage at 85,000 kilometers. Now, it will probably retain its value really well as well, and it's a significantly younger car as compared to the Privé as well as the Vios. Now, guys, it's a no-brainer. The Beza is definitely the better buy over here since it's newer. It's a Perodua. It's basically a Toyota underneath, a Daihatsu Toyota underneath it all. So it's a car that is basically going to last as well. Spare parts are basically, you can get spare parts are in abundance. You can go to any Perodua service center. They'll definitely still entertain you since it's a 2016 car. So among them all, the 2016 Perodua Beza 1.3X at 28,500 ringgit is definitely the better buy. However, it does say that it's a manual transmission. Then after that, you go further down and you get a 2013 Perodua Myvi 1.5 SE that has done about 95,000 kilometers for 26,988. Guys, you basically can't go wrong with a Myvi, right? So these cars, provided that they've been taken care of properly, they will definitely be easy to maintain. They're economical, and spare parts are cheap as well. But this is quite an old car. It's a 10-year-old car, and at 26,988, the 2016 Perodua Beza, the manual one that I was just telling you, is basically about less than 2,000 ringgit more. So definitely go for the Beza. After that, you get a 2002 Honda Odyssey at 21,988. Don't even look at it, right? It's as simple as that. If you need a people mover for your family and such, the Almera earlier will definitely be a better buy. And it's a a car that was manufactured in 2000 and registered in 2002, and it's 21,988 ringgit for a 23-year-old car. Don't even bother. So then after that, you get a 2013 Proton Saga 1.6 FL Executive, 18,800 ringgit. I think not a bad deal. It's quite interesting. Again, it's a 10-year-old car. Absorbers, suspension, gearbox maintenance, engine oil, even electronics, the interior, whether it's been well taken care of. If you see that it comes with some of those Fox, the fake leather stuff that you get at Brothers and such, don't bother. There are actually, at this price category, there's much better buys out there. So if it doesn't do it for you, then don't bother. After that, we get a 2006 Toyota Wish 2.0 MPV for 29,888 ringgit. Expensive. Of course, it's an MPV, so you get a lot of space. You get good space for your kids. You get a lot of storage space for your balik kampung needs. And then, but at basically 30,000 ringgit, like 29,888, 30,000 ringgit for basically a 17-year-old car. Yeah, but the Toyota Wish is a very nice car to drive, there's no doubt. The interior is well built, even though it's from 2006. It's not a bad car. So if you have the money to go down this route, the Toyota Wish would probably check all your boxes, for your family and such. But I would suggest putting maybe about 5,000 ringgit aside for maintenance, for rebuilds, suspension, engine. Do take a proper look. And if it's one of those, it's definitely a grey import car, right? So try to get documentation and such. Find out whether there have been prior accidents in Japan. Now, I don't think you can get information for 2006 cars, but try your best to find out about accidents and such. Check the body, take it out for a drive, and if it just doesn't feel right, there are better buys again. Now, after that, you get a 1990 Mercedes-Benz 190E for 13,800 ringgit. It has done about 200,000 kilometers. Wow, there's so many things that I can tell you about this car, like the fact that you're probably never going to lose money with it. Of course, you're going to have to put some money aside to rebuild it, and it's not going to be very fuel efficient, but it's a charmer. It has proper character, and it's a Mercedes-Benz after all. These 190Es, of course, they probably have been used and perhaps even abused, so it's very important to take it to a good mechanic. And the beauty of this is there are lots of mechanics out there that can work on the Mercedes-Benz 190E. Air conditioning is probably going to be one of your biggest issues. Electronics, these things have ECUs. Electronics are probably going to be one of your biggest issues as well. So brakes, absorbers, chances are that it's probably not even the original engine, but hey, 200,000 kilometers is nothing for a Mercedes from the 80s. After that, you get a 2014 Proton Iris. Again, not a fan, it's probably the same ad anyway. Then you get a 2013 Proton Preve. Now these are nice cars to drive, but I did find that the absorbers were a little bit trashy. But at 135,000, it has done 135,000 kilometers, so it's going for 19,800 ringgit. Yeah, probably not. Too expensive, and there are better buys out there. After that, you get a 2013 Proton Persona. 16,800 ringgit, has done about 100,000 kilometers. No, probably not in my books, but it's still cheaper than the 2012 Toyota Vios that comes after it, because it's priced at 29,800 ringgit. Wow, these Vioses do seem to retain their value really well. So this is basically the Vios Dugong, and it's not a bad car. It drives well, and if you take care of it, it will take care of you. But at 29,800 ringgit, it's basically quite expensive for such an old car. It's basically about 12 to 13,000 ringgit more expensive than the Protons. If you have the extra money, then this is definitely a better buy than the Protons. It probably would not depreciate that much either. Spare parts are in abundance out there. Again, you can probably still take this to your Toyota service center, but you do not have to, because there are a lot of mechanics out there that can take care of the Toyota Vios. And finally, on the first page, which we are just going to be focusing on the first page for this show, we have the 2012 Perodua Myvi 1.5 SE that has done 90,000 kilometers, and it's available for 25,800 ringgit. Again, Myvis are not a bad deal. Plenty of spare parts out there, plenty of people that can maintain it out there, and if this is a Myvi, it says that it's in good condition. It's something that you'll have to view to believe, and if it's true that it's in good condition, at 25,800 ringgit for a 10-year-old Myvi seems pricey. Seems like there are better deals out there as well, but if you're going to go down this route, then perhaps even the earlier generation Toyota Vios will probably do it for you as well. It does, after all, come with more space. But basically, a Myvi is a Myvi. It's newer than the Vios that I mentioned earlier, and it's probably more fuel efficient as well. So you can't go wrong with a Myvi. Anyway, let us know what you think about this segment, and if we get enough support, we're going to probably start doing it on a more consistent basis, probably even on a weekly basis, because there are a lot of good deals out there, and there are a lot of people that are looking for used cars out there, probably cheaper, more affordable good cars, and this is what we are trying to help everybody to do: make good buying decisions. Thank you for watching. Do consider subscribing.